The Simple Path to Wealth by J. L. Collins is a direct, accessible, and compelling guide to achieving financial independence through the power of saving and investing wisely. Originally written as a series of letters to his daughter, the book offers readers a blueprint for avoiding the traps of consumer culture and Wall Street hype, and instead building wealth through simplicity, patience, and discipline. Though it's packed with financial principles and strategies, the storytelling is warm, personal, and laced with humor, making even complex ideas feel human and doable. At its core, the book delivers one message: avoid debt, live below your means, and invest your savings in low-cost index funds, particularly the Vanguard Total Stock Market Index Fund, VTSAX. Collins builds his case methodically, beginning with the concept of FU money, which is not just about becoming rich, but about gaining the freedom to say no. Whether that means turning down a toxic job, walking away from a bad relationship, or simply having more choices in life, this concept of financial independence is framed as deeply personal and deeply empowering. From the very beginning, Collins questions the values that dominate much of modern financial advice. He describes the financial industry as filled with people who benefit more from your confusion than your success. He calls out high-fee mutual funds, complex portfolios, and active fund managers as largely ineffective and predatory. The tone he uses is not bitter, but protective, like a father trying to make sure his daughter doesn't get taken advantage of in a rigged system. The storytelling is grounded in real-life experiences. Collins shares anecdotes from his own financial journey, including early mistakes, lucky breaks, and the pivotal realization that simplicity wins over complexity. He explains how chasing hot stocks and timing the market left him frustrated and underperforming, and how shifting to a simple index fund strategy not only improved his returns but gave him peace of mind. His tone is not that of a financial guru, but of a fellow traveler who's made mistakes and come back wiser. One of the book's strengths is how it explains investment concepts in plain English. Collins demystifies compound interest, inflation, market volatility, and retirement account options without relying on jargon or condescension. He teaches the reader how to think long-term, to ignore market fluctuations, and to understand that the stock market, while volatile in the short term, tends to rise over the long run. Time and consistency, not cleverness, are what build real wealth. He also walks readers through what he calls the wealth-building path. First, avoid debt at all costs. Second, save as much of your income as possible. He recommends 50% or more, but emphasizes that any consistent saving rate will help. Third, invest in broad-based, low-fee index funds. And finally, learn to be content with enough, so you're not constantly moving the goalpost and chasing more. This isn't a philosophy of deprivation but of liberation. Collins dedicates a significant portion of the book to psychological and emotional resilience. He acknowledges that market crashes will happen, sometimes suddenly and violently. But instead of fearing them, he teaches readers to see them as buying opportunities and to trust in the long-term power of the market. He compares investing to planting a tree. You don't dig it up every week to check the roots, you water it and leave it alone. His calm, confident voice is like a counterweight to the hysteria of financial news cycles. There's also a strong emphasis on self-reliance. Collins argues that nobody cares more about your money than you do, so you need to learn the basics, take responsibility, and stop relying on advisors who often don't have your best interests at heart. He's not anti-advisor, but he insists that if you choose to hire one, it should be someone who charges flat fees and doesn't take commissions. He empowers readers to manage their own finances, not because it's trendy, but because it's necessary for independence. One chapter focuses on financial independence math. He explains the 4% rule, which says that if you withdraw 4% of your portfolio per year, your money should last through retirement. To achieve this, you need to save roughly 25 times your annual expenses. The clarity of this framework makes retirement feel more like a solvable equation than a vague dream. By simplifying the math and removing the mystique, Collins makes early retirement feel achievable. He also addresses lifestyle inflation, the tendency to spend more as you earn more. This, he says, is the enemy of wealth building. Collins encourages readers to find satisfaction with a modest lifestyle, even as their income increases. He isn't saying you should never spend, but that conscious spending beats compulsive spending. You can enjoy life while building wealth, but the key is prioritization and awareness. The tone throughout the book is infused with tough love. Collins doesn't sugarcoat things. He tells readers that nobody is coming to save them, that financial independence is their responsibility, and that whining about how unfair things are won't build their net worth. But this bluntness comes with a reassuring undertone: you can do this. Even if you start late, even if you've made mistakes, you can still reclaim control and move forward. What makes the book deeply readable is Collins' dry humor and self-deprecating tone. He doesn't take himself too seriously, and that humility invites trust. You never feel like he's lecturing. It's more like he's sitting across from you at a table, coffee in hand, telling you the truth about money in a way your parents or teachers never did. It's rare for a finance book to feel like a conversation, but this one does. As the book winds down, Collins doesn't declare victory or suggest that reaching financial independence is the end of the journey. Instead, he invites readers to consider what they want to do with their freedom. Whether that means traveling, creating, volunteering, or simply resting, financial independence is framed not as an end goal, but as a beginning. It's the foundation upon which a life of purpose and autonomy can be built. He also talks about legacy, not in terms of inheritance, but in terms of values. Teaching your children or loved ones about money, modeling healthy financial behavior, and demystifying investing for future generations are all part of the simple path. In this way, Collins suggests that true wealth isn't just money, it's wisdom, freedom, and the ability to live life on your terms. Ultimately, The Simple Path to Wealth offers readers both a financial toolkit and a life philosophy. It's about rejecting complexity, noise, and pressure in favor of clear goals, steady habits, and inner peace. It's not flashy, and that's exactly the point. In a world obsessed with shortcuts and speculation, Collins offers a quiet, proven road to freedom, one paved with patience, knowledge, and trust in the process.